I would love for you to introduce yourself, not just your name and background, but also what experiences and passions have shaped who you are today.
Hi, I'm Cerise C. Carson. My pronouns are she, they. I am German. I am American. I am full of love and grateful to see you. I am a mother, and I am a healer. I'm also a survivor. I welcome you into this space to join me as I welcome you to join Reset Mom. I have survived my eating disorder. I've lived with an eating disorder since I was 15. Through everything that it could have saved me from, it never saved me from myself. It's in this moment that I realized that not only do I have the capacity to heal, but I also have the capacity to share.
Can you take us back to the moment or experience that inspired you to create Reset Mom? What emotions were driving you back then?
Reset Mom came through the need of needing more spaces to tell the story. A story that I was very loud with after I exited inpatient clinic and came to Berlin, the city that was supposed to save me, the city that was supposed to give me the dreams that I hoped I would have after I exited my inpatient treatment. I came to Berlin with hopes and dreams that brought me back to the isolation, the fears, the doubts, and everything that I didn't want to accept anymore. Corona came, and I feared more than ever, not only my life, not only all the recovery that I had gone through, the battles I went through to achieve some sort of stability, but it also brought the fear of others being in the same position I was in and to really go through nightmares. I knew that I would be able to hold space, to hold a space that would not only allow me to continuously heal, but to share what was so important, and that was a space to speak. It took me very long until I accepted my Blackness. But luckily, Black Lives Matters came to Germany. And so also that gave me a sort of hope that I had a voice to share. Reset Mom came out of the hope that others would be able or listen and feel the need of a space like Reset Mom. My emotions are all over the place. Recovery is not linear. Recovery is not white. And I knew that as a socialized Black woman, I was able to break the silence when it came to how eating disorders looked.
Emotions play a central role in healing. How does Reset Mom encourage people to connect their journey of eating disorder recovery with their core emotions?
Eating disorders is a very emotional disorder. It runs off the emotions, how you feel the day you get up. It's a playground for your eating disorder, if restricting, if binging, purging, it just feeds it. I noticed very quickly in Reset Mom how finally just really acknowledging the emotions and pinpointing those emotions to maybe even giving it a name. Giving my eating disorder a name was very important for me to heal, to identify it, and to challenge it on my emotional healing and in recovery.
In your view, why is creating a safer space specifically for Black girls, women, and Black FLINTA individuals so vital to the context of eating disorders?
Well, the space created is focusing on how we move through the space in Germany, so specifically women, Black women, girls, FLINTA in Germany, how emotions play a role of how society values us, how they see us, how they treat us, and what kind of emotions we come home with. So identifying these in this space as Black folk is very important.
How does Reset Mom support participants in rediscovering and embracing those emotions during their recovery?
Well, we, first of all, welcome you to just share how and why, as much as you want. It's very important that you are comfortable in the space that we provide, because only if you're comfortable, we can really unlayer what you've been snuggled in for so long. Eating disorders aren't always bad, and this is something that I also am very important for me to also bring up, because everyone wants to discriminate against eating disorders, but eating disorders have a very, very important role to play when it comes to why and how and surviving. Sometimes an eating disorder really is survival modus, so we can move in these capitalistic systems.
To someone who feels alone in their struggle and unsure about seeking help, especially within the Black community, what would you want to say to them? What do you wish you had heard in your own difficult moments?
Any Black girl, woman, FLINTA person that feels they may have disordered eating habits, that they may have an eating disorder that just sits with them all day long, I would have loved to hear, and this is what I tell you, you are not alone. Eating disorders aren't white and have anorexia. Eating disorders look like you. They look like me. They look like everyone that's struggling that hasn't even been in the space to really reflect and see. Because only if you see and acknowledge, you can change. Recovery is a very, very, very hard path, but it's also a very blessed, very, very grateful path. I've lived through it. I'm standing here struggling, but still, recovery is real. I don't live with my eating disorder anymore. I live with symptoms of disordered eating due to that eating disorder that I survived. So till this day, I live in recovery because I know that I am not alone. There are others out there, this might be you, And I wish I would have heard this. I wish I would have seen this by a Black woman, by a Black person, to know recovery is real. And it's awesome.
How do you make sure Reset Man remains an inclusive and welcoming space for all Black FLINTA members, regardless of individual backgrounds or experiences?
This is a very, very important question, and it is very, very important for our community. Just because we see this happen over and over again, that spaces aren't inclusive, spaces aren't safer, I can only guarantee to make the safer space as safe as you, as members, provide it. Everyone joining Reset Mom has a conversation with me, and we introduce each other to one another. We talk about it. How do we feel with a new member? It's important to really be able to open up. And if it's not right, we'll find solutions. That solution might be a different timing, a one-to-one. Everything is possible, but you need to be open enough to create this safer space with me. I can't hold this alone.
Could you tell us about some of the workshops or events Reset Mom organizes? What moments during these gatherings have felt particularly powerful or meaningful to you?
When we have our knowledge-based workshops, the participants that join, the numbers shouldn't really mean anything, but they do mean a lot. When I see participants in numbers of twos, then I know that it's a reach that needs to be there. I know it's important to listen to this knowledge, to let it sink in, to share it with others, just as well as the cooking workshops, coming together, picking out the recipe, taking time to cook together, speak about the recipe. Maybe there's a story behind it. Taking time to eat, taking time to digest, and taking time to talk about that. My favorite, of course, the healing circles, is so valuable for the weekends to really be able to reflect on something that's been sitting with you all week. And you can just share that. Super powerful. Well, if you're listening and you would like to join one of our healing circles, I invite you to write me an email. My email you can find here somewhere. Write me. It doesn't have to be much. One line, hey, I would like to join. We'll meet, it will be a Zoom, and I'll tell you a little bit about me, and you can tell me a little bit about you. It's very personal, just like our stories are personal. Every layer is personal, and so as much as you want to share, you can.
When you think about the future of Reset Mom and what you hope to achieve for the Black community regarding mental health and eating disorder support, what dreams or goals come to mind?
Reset Mom is exclusively for Black girls, Black women, Black FLINTA persons with eating disorders and disordered eating, living in Germany and beyond, and welcome to Reset Mom.
Can you tell us the difference between disordered eating and eating disorder?
Disordered eating is something that most of you probably have. It's eating that ice cream double, but maybe thinking about it and saying, oh, I shouldn't have done that. At the same time, then going to the gym next day and wanting to get off that ice cream. You eat a salad maybe during the day and try and substitute what you did before. So disordered eating sneaks its way in, but it's not really a big problem. The problem starts when your eating disorders takes over your life, meaning that you really get up in the morning and the first thing your mind goes to is how you will restrict, how you will binge, or how you will divulge whatever you have set your mind on, because those emotions will come throughout the day, and those emotions will feed your eating disorder. Your emotions will feed your eating disorder to restrict. Your emotions will feed your eating disorder to binge and purge. Or your emotions might just allow and force you to binge, so you binge those emotions away. But the difference between the both is that disordered eating can just take a little bit of tweaking, meaning that you will really just sit down and think about what you will eat throughout the day, throughout the week, and it's not really gonna sit with you. It feels easy, and it doesn't feel like it's navigating your life. Eating disorders will navigate your life. Eating disorders will feel destructive. Eating disorders will feel heavy. Eating disorders will feel lonely. Eating disorders will give you energy, but they will also take it. Eating disorders sit with you. Eating disorders force you and allow you to rethink your life. So no matter what you have, no matter how you feel, if there's something bothering you that you feel like you need to change, sit with it, think about it. Is it heavy? Or is it something that is very easy navigable? If it is, enjoy that meal. If it's not, reach out.
So if there's only one key message about eating disorders, support, or community that you want everyone listening to remember, what would that be?
Eating disorders will isolate you. Eating disorders will force you to think there's no other life besides you and them. But one key thing that I want to let you leave with is that you're not alone. And there is a life beyond your eating disorder. It's scary, and it might not feel that tangible, but it is real. Trust yourself. Sit with that feeling of doubt that it's not your time. But don't allow it to take your life. You deserve to live, and you deserve to experience a life without the heaviness of an eating disorder.